Time is ticking, and nothing looks in favor of Bibi. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is at war on all fronts, both within and outside his country. Earlier, he saw unity among his war cabinet falling apart as some key party members and officials revolted against his Gaza offensive. And now his very own Israeli citizens are losing patience over his war objectives. Adding to the political mess, an international Jewish foundation has criticized his Rafah offensive. The US-based Hebrew advocacy group, Jewish Voice for Peace, released a statement holding Israel and the US government responsible for the killings of 36,000 Palestinians. It also demanded an end to all US funding to the Israeli military. The Jewish Voice for Peace statement read, "We will never forget the images emerging from Rafah tonight. Human beings, including babies, were burned alive and torn apart. This genocide must end. It must end now." On Saturday, a massive protest erupted in the country's capital. Israeli demonstrators gathered in Tel Aviv to protest Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government. Their demand was to get back hostages from Gaza. Ground footage showed security officers pushing protesters from the road and dispersing the crowd with a water cannon. There was a heavy clash between protesters and police.
We're coming here in order to tell our government that they're not doing enough to bring our hostages back, our loved ones. They're not initiating any negotiations with the terrorists. They're not, basically they're not doing enough in order for the hostages to come back, either with military force, either with hostage deals, negotiating. Nothing is being done.
The protesters carried photos of female soldiers that appeared in a video released last week depicting their abduction and banners reading, "Stop the War." The protesters also called for the resignation of Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and demanded new elections.
And I'm here today with my friends. After we all saw the video, we cannot stay at home after the government abandoned these people and my sisters. 8 months ago almost, I could not stay at home. I had to come here and ask my government to bring all hostages home. My little sisters, all of them, I see them as my sisters. We have no blood relations, but we're all one.
The relatives of the Israeli hostages are upset and angry over the fact that even after almost 9 months into the war, Netanyahu has been unsuccessful in bringing all the captives back. Netanyahu is under pressure, and this is certainly reflected in Israel's approach to Gaza. The attacks by the Israeli Defense Forces have intensified in the Rafah camp, a place that was considered safe for Palestinians. On Sunday, Israeli strikes on tents housing displaced Palestinians in Rafah killed at least 40 people. Among the deceased, many were children. Referring to the attack, UNRWA has called Gaza hell on earth. To date, the Gaza conflict has killed almost 36,000 Palestinians, including both Hamas fighters and civilians. Israel, however, has blamed civilian deaths on Hamas, stating that Hamas militants operate in dense residential areas. As the conflict drags on, the international community's calls for a resolution grow louder, putting increasing pressure on Netanyahu's government to find a path to peace.